So something Senator Winder did say about the state of Idaho politics and the state Republican Party. He laments the fact it is narrowing, as you heard him. Idaho GOP closed its primary election 12 years ago. They put into their platform and party rules what defines a Republican. And you also heard Senator Winder say as well that many other self-proclaimed Reagan Republicans, that they have said, that narrow scope seems to squeeze them outside of the party's focus of the future. Senator Winder said in a primary election, the party has usually been neutral in its support of GOP candidates. Not so much this time. Andrew Bartline talked to Idaho GOP Chairwoman Dorothy Moon today, and she is far from neutral on the results of yesterday's election.
Yeah, the Idaho GOP isn't hiding the fact that they've had favorites in this primary election. I talked with Chairwoman Dorothy Moon, and she's very open that she had support for specific candidates that she says reflect the party platform and will vote in alignment with that platform. And the whole party platform and structure ties back to some of the lowest level races precinct committeemen.
Well, the grassroots spoke in the fact that we did maintain a lot of precinct committee races. Doing so, we will now have the delegates go to Coeur d'Alene, and hopefully we can keep the same folks in our administration that we currently have.
These elections that I think the general public long thought was really not that big a deal are now getting tons of attention. Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of power. They are censuring lawmakers.
They can do a lot, and you know, that's kind of their job. They are the base, the foundation of this party. And to me, they're the most important part of this party.
And they elect the people that elect you, if I understand properly.
Correct.
As you have become chair of this party, it seems that it has become more conservative. Do you believe that's going to hold based on what you're seeing with those committee results?
Well, first of all, I disagree with that. I think with the Republican Party, the expectations for some counties were not the same for others. If everybody would follow the rules, I don't think we'd have the hard feelings that we've had in the past, and it has created the division that we had once I became chair.
It's a long list of people that the central committees have censured.
Well, yes, especially when it's very contrary to what our platform stands for.
I think some people would say the accountability comes back at the elections. When I look at this list of people that have been censured, Matt Bundy and Julie Yamamoto are the only two I know of that didn't win their election last night.
But you've got to also remember Yamamoto was on the Education Committee, and school choice is a fundamental value in our platform. So when you don't allow even a hearing on something as important as school choice, then it's going to raise the ire of people who want some options. I think this coming year and next 2 years in the Republican Party are going to be very exciting. Now we're fighting ranked choice voting. We have boxes and boxes you'll see out there of literature to get the information out against the dangers of ranked choice voting, which will harm our state.
The primary right now does block out independent, unaffiliated voters. There's more of those than there are Democrats in the state of Idaho.
But Andrew, I don't want the independents and the unaffiliateds coming in and picking my quarterback for my team.
Does it feel that way, that it's our team versus their team? We're all Americans. Is America not the team?
There's some stark differences, and I think everybody knows that. It sure does raise the ire of a lot of folks in this state when you have a drag queen show on 9/11 in front of the Capitol on a Sunday and you want kids to go up and dance with drag queens.
Do you think there's a better way to characterize the Democrats than that?
Of course I was sensationalizing right there. You do know that.
I know that, and I'd prefer you don't. I mean, you're the same woman that told me last night that you don't like to use the word rhino.
I don't, and I haven't.
I want to talk to that person.
Well, like you said, it does sharpen the iron. In the legislative arena, it does. It does. I mean, and it's much more prevalent when you are engaging with those in the Democrat Party or any other party. I think that Idahoans, people don't move here because they're unsure. I think they expect it to be a conservative state.
Seems like you've been enjoying your role as the chair. Do you plan to stick around?
I think I will. I'll let you know right now, Andrew, that I would like to be chair for 2 more years. And it's my job as chair to make sure we maintain and uphold the values of the Republican Party.
So there have been some people that have complained and said the party's too hard one way or the other on just the hard line of the rules. It seems that that's the way it's going to stay.
We'll find out in June if that sticks that way. It is interesting that just before the primary election yesterday, the party put out a list of candidates that had not signed the integrity and affiliation form that they give to candidates, saying they will follow the party rules, they will follow the party platform, or be subject to censure, that kind of stuff. There's a long list of those that didn't sign that, and some signed it with exceptions. So we'll see how that plays out.
See what their voting record turns out to be.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew.